Hello. Howdy. What is up? I am was testing some audio things right before stream just to ensure that we were all set to go. It looks like we are. So yeah, howdy. All right. Yeah, as you noticed, the I keep oscillating between streaming on my laptop and streaming on my actual desktop, and my reluctancy with the desktop is the camera. I'm gonna need to get a new one because if you noticed in the last stream, we're gonna have to adjust that because it kept buffering in and out, kept glitching. I guess I should expect this kind of quality from a camera given the fact that I won this at Dave and Buster's. So you get what you paid for, I guess. Anyway, hopefully you guys are doing well. um I know I am. I'm having a decent enough day so far. um Today's stream is going to be pretty short, I think. Not sure how short, but not as long as the other one, probably. So let's get into it. There's like there's like a bunch of shit to talk about. Actually, let me see. Thank you. Let me see if I can that's not the chat I want. I want to pull up chat on this thing here. That's not what I want though. Because I want to be able to see if anybody is out there. Okay. When you use Restream, it doesn't appear as though I can use the chat from a very specific. I'll just put it up. I wonder if the Restream chat thing is like its own thing, or if it includes chats from like both Twitch and YouTube. I don't have a I don't have an affiliate with Twitch, so I'm able to stream on both platforms. But um, I wonder if this chat just displays both of their chats. I guess we'll see. I don't know. Most people don't interact anyway. Okay. Oh, that can do settings though. Embed in stream. Um, what would that do? So, interesting. All right, I don't want to fuck with that right now. All right. Um, dude, I mentioned last time, I was on vacation last week, and we were in Vegas. I was with my wife and my friend and his fiance, and it was nice. And I guess some crazy shit happened. So this is a this is gonna be a quick story, I guess. So basically, um, I we were in Vegas, obviously, and we were heading for lunch. And let me take the glasses off. It's hard to see my eyes. Um, and we were, we were just chilling, and we were going to lunch or whatever, and we met up with this guy while we were walking through one of the places, and like they said if we wanted some shit for free, right? And it was like tickets or like stuff to like a big discount or coupons to this nice restaurant or whatever. So anyway, we go through that and we talk about it, and we signed up for all this shit, and eventually, they're like, you just have to attend this presentation later in the day, and I was only like half paying attention. They were mostly doing the talking, and um, upon leaving, we found out, unbeknownst to us, it was you know actually a timeshare presentation. If you've never been to a timeshare presentation, they're notorious for being very aggressive in the sales approach and keeping you longer there than what is promised, as well as harassing you to some extent. Anyway, we go there, and they start talking about, they have this like presentation, and the woman who provided the presentation was like, it was crazy, dude, because like um she put out like a bunch of shit, like she used all the psychological um she used every psychological trick in the book that you could use to like exploit somebody's mind, I guess. It's like, for example, like they were like so, at some point during like the presentation, they're like, we're in a room with people, and she's like, or at the very beginning of the presentation, she's like, I want everybody here to participate. You better participate. When I say something, you say mm-hmm. Like it was very bizarre off the get-go. With that, I was kind of frightened. And so the presentation progresses, and they start discussing, or she starts discussing, like the timeshare, or she didn't even use the word timeshare. I don't think at any point actually anybody used the word timeshare. But regardless, they were just describing, like, isn't it nice that you have, like, aren't these rooms that we provide very nice? You have to elevate your status. You get all these nice things, blah, 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 blah. They just kept going on and on about the experience that you could get by investing in the timeshare, as opposed to the actual logistics and finances behind the timeshare itself. And, that was the entire presentation, basically. And they're like, and at one point, and I'm not shitting you, by the way, they're like, um, she has like this picture of a dog, and it's like pampered or whatever. It has like this plate in front of it, and like a glass of like white wine or champagne or something next to it. And she's like, now just take a minute to look at this dog. She's being pampered. Why can't you be pampered? It's like, it was crazy, insane. Can you imagine for a moment here how you would feel upon going into this presentation and then being like, you know, having all this like this weird intro about like it seemed like she had a gun pointed to her head, with respect to her demeanor, because she was like forcefully, it seemed like she was forcefully smiling, and like trying to really, really sell this experience, and like, but when it came to this dog thing, it was like, obviously, dude, it's like scraping the bottom of the barrel here, because we're just talking about dogs, and they're like, oh yeah, look at this cute little puppy. Couldn't you, it's like, it's just weird. By the way, I don't know. They're literally using cute animals to get people to make major financial decisions. So as the presentation goes on, it went on for a while. By the way, it felt like forever. She was like, she's like, there was one slide where she's like, now I know that some of you guys talk to your significant others and said that no matter what, you aren't going to buy anything. And this led to her trying to pit couples against each other by saying some stuff along the lines of like, now if you are if your partner told you to do that, then you can blink Morse code to me. I gotcha, babe. That's where, I swear to God, that's what she said too. I was like, I'm like, damn, bro, like, shit. It's just like the psychology behind these presentations and the sales pitch itself is like really, really bad. And by bad, I mean like not just that it's ineffective, at least to me it was, because I knew going into it, like, they're going to be like fucking annoying. It's bad in the sense like they do like shit that I would in other circumstances would be considered harassment. and pitting both, your partner and you against each other or your friends is kind of harassing, them, right? Like using psychological games to get like to make them not trust each other or to like doubt each other, and then eventually that leads to them staying longer in the sales pitch, arguing. So yeah, it's pretty fucked. Mm. So anyway, presentation finally ends, and then we get to the part where we sit down with the guy who, prior to the presentation, introduced himself to us, asked us a couple questions, basic questions like things to build rapport between us and him, and then eventually after we left the presentation, we sat down again, and then we started talking again, and we talked about like the you know uh, just the product, I guess. What we wanted to do. I'm like, would you be interested in investing today? And the obvious first thing that many people would say in this circumstance is, well, I think that we're going to want to sit down, talk about it together, and like figure something out, and work this into our budget because we don't know um, if this is going to work at all. And the response to this was very interesting. It was basically like, well, what do you have to talk about? We showed you everything in the presentation. I can answer any questions you may have regarding the finances. So what is there to even talk about? So this response is really interesting to me because it's kind of like it shows me that the salesperson's scared in a way, or that they are completely prepared for any rebuke from a potential client or investor, um, and they have like their own set of dialogue, right? Like their own dialogue tree in response to certain talking points. So they know many people are going to go into it and be like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to want to invest like 40,000 of my dollars into a timeshare, and they know that people are going to say that, so they have pre-prepared responses to that. And one of which, I guess, is like, what is there to even talk about? And keep in mind, the finances and the cost of this, of like investing into this timeshare, wasn't even addressed in the presentation, nor was it addressed in the overwhelming majority of the sales pitch from the guy afterwards or before. So during the presentation, they're asking like, "Hey, would you want to invest?" And we consistently asked him like, "Well, what does it cost or whatever?" And he throws out a bunch of numbers and is like, it's just like ridiculous. Like he basically works. He does everything in his power to not answer the question, basically, and then he just works around it. And so he at one point we were there for a long time. So the promised amount of time we were supposed to be there was like an hour and a half to 2 hours. We ended up being there for like 2.5 to 3 hours. The guy who signed us up said that we would be there. We would probably be out in an hour and a half, but we were out an hour to an hour and a half after that. So we were there for way longer than we should have been. We also told the guy that like we also told the sales guy, that we had reservations to a restaurant, and because this was going like into the deep afternoon, and he just called us a lie. He basically called us lying. He said we were lying and said like, no, you don't, or like you're gonna have to reschedule. It's like, reschedule dinner? What the fuck are you talking about? Why? That was so obnoxious. So anyway, at some point, my wife gets up and is like, she literally gets up like out of her seat and is like, okay, well, thank you for the presentation. We'll think about it. Can I get your name and number? And and this wasn't the first time she asked for his name and number. On multiple occasions, he just refused to do that. He's like, I can't give you my name and number. Like, what do you mean you can't give you your name and number? He's like, well, I can't do that. He didn't elaborate. He didn't provide anything. It was just, we can't do that. It's like, oh, okay. Um, Not gonna lie, dude, that's weird. That's like, oh, okay. Yeah, the fact that somebody's apprehensive. Like, this is what I mean by the scared thing. The scared thing in the sense, like, you're gonna say, what is there to talk about? Or like, and at one point I asked him, like, hey, how much is it? And he's like, why does that matter? He actually said that. He said, why does that matter? The cost of investing. It's like, why does that matter? So I'm like, so he's scared. He's scared. It's like, why do you need to talk about it? Why do you need to talk about it? Just invest now. Don't think about it. Give me your commission. And with and then he's like, why does it matter how much it costs? And then also, like, at multiple, if I really want to get into it, I could probably think of like multiple contradictions that he made in his own sales pitch. But it's just probably not worth it, honestly. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, she gets up. She's obviously, and then he like disrespects her, by the way, and says like, ma'am, you're being hostile. What is wrong with you, or whatever, something like that. And rightfully so, she was offended, as we all were as well. And there was zero chance of us buying a timeshare in the first place. But any reluctance that we demonstrated up to that point was entirely vanquished after having seen the way he treated my wife. And then I'm like, okay, well, you know what? No, there's nothing to talk about now. We were already pretending to talk about it, but now, no. Anyway, he just wouldn't let us leave. He stood there. He was there for a while. We were there for a while. And I felt like there was like a whole group with us, right? And he was like, we were like the last people there. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. And we were just there forever, ever, ever. He also said some dumbass shit about inflation, because when we were talking about the cost, he was kind of like, how much is inflation per year? Like 3%? And then he did like some math or whatever, saying 3% each year, and applied that to how much we would have to save in order to meet the cost that it would have costed us otherwise to invest in timeshare. It was really bizarre math. Didn't make any fucking sense. I mean, if you want to assess the value of an investment, you should probably take the net present value of that investment, and then as it goes on throughout time, you assess it and come up with a number or whatever in a very simplistic sense. But like the guy he just wouldn't like let us leave. We were there for so fucking long. We were actually there for so long that when we ended up leaving, the reception, like the front of the house, whatever, was like dark, and the receptionist left. When we got there, the receptionist was there, obviously checking people in. When we left, nobody was. It was like we were the only people in this building. It was very bizarre. So anyway, after an hour of harassment and arguing, it was weird because like a switch just flipped in this guy's head. It was very sudden. It was just kind of like, okay, and he was just all like being a little bitch, and giving us a cold shoulder. I think that's a sales tactic too. If I were to guess, that it's like a sales tactic to be like giving somebody the cold shoulder and being like, he just shut down. He was just, because at that point I think he knew that we weren't going to invest at all. There's nothing he could do to stop it. And also, oh dude, I forgot about this, by the way. He was like bragging about he said on multiple occasions, this is so strange, but he's like, on multiple occasions he's like, I make over $250,000 a year, ma'am. He was saying that to my wife. I'm like, well, and we were all just flabbergasted. That wasn't the only time. He said it multiple times throughout this interview. He's like, I make over $250,000 a year. Okay. It literally had no bearing on anything. I can't even figure out how it benefits him from a sales perspective. How would it benefit you from a sales perspective to like, why are you flexing your salary on us? Yeah, we don't make as much as us working Americans don't make as much as you, apparently. I mean, if you make that much money, then missing this one sale is probably not too big of a deal, right? Like, he was being a little bitch. But I guess that's par for the course if you're a salesperson for timeshares, because timeshare people are just fucking insane. Like, genuinely crazy. Like, he wouldn't let us leave, kind of crazy, you know. I actually read the story online, like this person who had a timeshare, and they were like, um, they said that they were literally locked in the room with like a group of people, and they had to like it was weird because like they had to use their kid to like fake an accident, like they pissed their pants or whatever, and let them out, and then they just like ran. It's like I don't know where this was, by the way. I was like, shit, dude, what? I, dude, I would never if it ever came to that, man, I would just call the police at that point. Cause like, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway, so after the presentation ended, there's not much more to say. After the presentation ended, basically, they were like, um, this guy in the hallway. By the way, before the whole presentation, I was in the bathroom. I was literally taking a piss, and this guy's talking to me. He's like, you know, you can invest with your friend over here instead of your wife. It's like, even, man, this guy doesn't let it down, huh? I can't even take a piss in private without you harassing me. And while we were walking in the hallway, he's still going on, man. Like when we were going, like when we were leaving, this guy's still going. He's still talking to me. And then so he introduced us to this new person who was checking us out, right? And by checking us out, I mean like he was like supposed to like check us out and like so we're on our way to leave. But the guy comes up. It's a. I think this is another sales technique, by the way. When he knows he's not going to get anywhere, move us to a different environment to where a new person comes and tries to do the same shit, and that's what happened. Thankfully, this wasn't as long, but when we were there, he sits us down and um, he's like, oh god, what did he say? He presents us like this piece of paper that has a bunch of locations on it, like Hawaii, Alaska, whatever. He's like, where would you like to go? Like, I'm like, dude, where? I thought we were checking out. I thought we were done with this shit. And he's like, you are. And then he just proceeds to keep going. And then he's like, oh shit, what else did he say? He's like, oh yeah, and then he starts doing this math, which made no fucking sense either, because these guys they're not like financial planners, or whatever. They're just dipshits who are trying to make a sale. They're so he's like doing this math, and then eventually he circles this number where it's like $16 a month. Can you afford $16 a month? And he looks at me and asks me this question. I'm like, no. And then he's like, you can't afford to take your wife out on vacations for 16 bucks a month. I'm like, what the fuck you? I didn't say that shit. What the fuck you talking about? This bitch putting words in my mouth. Shit. So that really annoyed me. And you know, shortly thereafter, we ended up leaving. But like, the whole experience was dog shit. It was really bad. Now obviously I knew going into this presentation that it was going to be difficult or annoying. That's how most timeshares are, uh, sales pitches. But like, wow. And they do this shit while people are on vacation, by the way, because they know people's guards are going to be down when they're on vacation. The guy was also kind of sexist. The first guy. The first guy was like, he was like saying like because I was with my wife and my friend was with his fiance. Both of us own homes, and he's like saying that he's basically saying that we the men own the home. The women are just living there rent free basically, and that it's our duty to take them out to vacation as though it's not a collaborative effort when we go on vacation, right? Like it's not as though we're both. They act like we're in charge of everything in the household when that's not really true. I'm in charge of some things. My wife is in charge of other things, and in other areas we collaborate about whatever, like a normal partnership should be. And but like it, man, I don't know. It was wild. The whole experience was wild. I just, I don't know, man. Anyway, timeshare presentations, don't go to them unless you're willing to block out basically half your day, and unless the gifts that they give you are like really good. So, yeah. Mm. I probably would not do it again. Not gonna lie. I don't think it's worth it. So, I mean, we got like good coupons to this really nice restaurant. This Brazilian steak restaurant is really nice, and we went to what else? We got some gift cards. I don't know, like $150 each. So that was nice too, or maybe it was $100. I don't remember. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think I mean, like, there's one thing if it's one thing if we're just talking about like um just like going through a sales pitch, and then like if you're not interested, then you just leave. Like, I don't. It's not really like complicated. But he kept like saying throughout the interview, he's like, "What is there to think about? What is there to think about?" And I think I told him at one point, I'm like, sometimes you don't know what you don't know until later. Like, what's the issue about thinking about it over time? And the obvious answer to this is that, they don't want you to. They're supposed to take no. They're not supposed to take no for an answer, as well as they know that if you leave, you're never coming back, never calling them, blah 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 blah. And so yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's actually get to some rant aside. Let's get to some shit, right? Um, I have to find this one thing. Here we go. Okay, by the way, who is? All right. So, okay, I saw this, and I think it's, I'll share my thoughts after, actually. One moment, please. Where's my face? Hold on. Video capture device. Um, hmm. Maybe I'll have to delete it and put it back in. Hold on one moment. Video capture device. There's my face. So that's good. So I saw this video, right? Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can change it. No. Edit. I'm not gonna fuck with this. All right, whatever. Yeah. So I saw this video on Twitter, and I guess, well, let's just listen to it actually.
But I met a girl who's a streamer. I went up to her, I hugged her, and I came in my pants.
Wow.
Hug her.
I think you need to get laid a little more often.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was she hot though? Was she like super duper duper hot?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's forgivable if she was super duper duper hot.
Yeah.
So part of me thinks this is fake. But another part of me thinks that it's real. So first off, why is this guy recording? That's the first thing. Why is he just, did he say like, hey, this guy right here, was he like, hey, can you record this, please? And the guy's like, okay. It seems like this guy's a bartender.
But I met a girl who's a streamer. I went up to her, I hugged her, and I came in my pants.
Yeah, I don't know. This might be fake. Many people are saying it's real or operating under a premise that's real. Um, I don't know, man. I think some people are being too harsh. Now, obviously, this is very unusual. I don't think it's common for guys to come just from hugging a girl. There are things called hair triggers, um, which might be the case for this guy. But this, honestly, even that, I feel like this goes beyond it, and people are making fun of him for it. I don't think there's any dude. It'd be one thing if he said this like why is this being recorded? I don't understand. Like, there's no reason. Like, was he recording already, or like did like the guy say, "Can I record you saying this?" Or did this guy sitting here behind or at the bar say like, "Hey, I'm gonna make this shit up just to make the rounds online. Can you please record me saying this?" I don't know because like I I don't know why people are assuming straight off the bat this is real because it probably isn't, and people are like dogging him or like you know uh, I don't know, man. Some people it's just like how it is. Like I think if you come based on like hugging somebody, then there's literally something wrong with you. Not like I'm not saying like mentally or whatever. There's like something like there's some hyperactive shit going on in like your I don't know your sex organ. I don't know. There's got to be an explanation medically for why somebody could even that how that can even happen. Like, and there's a lot of context missing too. Like he what did he already have like a boner? Was he popping a boner before this? Like was he like at the edge anyway? And then like when he rubbed up against her, like I don't I don't know what the fuck to make of this, man. Shit. But like regardless, even if this were true, then the reactions from from people here is just ridiculous. You know? The guy comes off of touching a girl or like hugging a girl, then um there's like actually something going on with him sexually. Dude, honestly, I admire the fact that he owns up to it because like it'd be one thing. It would be infinitely more pathetic to me if he's just like awkwardly twiddling his thumb and saying like, "Yeah, I did. I made a little cummy come from hugging this female content creator." Um, but the guy owns up to it and isn't ashamed, and like I mean, that comes off better to me. Like the confidence. At least he's confident. And part of his confidence here is another reason why I think it might be fake because like he's acting. It seems like he's acting through it, you know. So I don't care. But yeah, people are dogging him. It's like whatever. Why is my face? Oh, that's weird. All right, yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Dude, what the fuck? They're such pussies. Are you reading this shit? The film has Matt Walsh. The film has been seen by millions of people, but still only 6 movie critics have dared to review it, and none of them are from major mainstream publication. Like the insecurity from this is like astounding. That's another thing I wanted to talk about today. There's something else he said he was bitching about. Um, yeah. Twitter put the hate speech tag on my embed of the film. There is someone actively and manually suppressing the film at Twitter. What? They told you they were going to do that, and that Elon was going to take it off the next day. Why the fuck would advertisers want to be associated with this shit? And you, more specifically, you, my dog, my dude. Oh yeah, Elon even brings this point up, by the way. So after reading this, where Elon basically says it's a mistake, Matt Walsh responded and said, does this mean we can post a film with full reach and everything else we originally agreed to? Also, the what is a woman trend keeps disappearing. That's another thing he keeps bitching about, is the fact that it's not. Dude, oh my god, like, so entitled. Like, he thinks the world is, like, oh, everything is owed to him, to this world. And, like, he deserves the #1 spot of trending at all times 24/7. Like, oh shit. I can't stand people like that, man. I think like entitlement and arrogance like drive me up a wall. That is the most obnoxious characteristic anybody can embody. It will be advertising restricted, as advertisers have the right to decide what content their ads appear with, which will impact reach to some degree. I don't understand what that means. This it means advertisers. What is complicated about advertisers have a right to decide what content their ads appear with? Is this guy retarded? I don't understand what that means. He actually might be. It's just like free market share. Oh my god. Like, what do you even say to this shit? He was also bitching. Hold on. He was also bitching on YouTube. Oh man. Let's see if we can find it. Wait, how many times? Wait, I gotta see how many total videos there are of this. Oh yeah, we gotta figure out what's going on with Coles as well. Okay. So guys, a couple days ago, Thursday. On Thursday, wait, hold on. There I am, frozen. Okay. So on Thursday, we watched this other video from Matt Walsh saying that Twitter was trying to silence him. And he's made a follow-up video, so I suppose let's watch.
Set out to co-opt and overshadow the first day of Pride Month. And although it didn't happen exactly as I anticipated or planned, I would say that we still succeeded. So to quickly review what we discussed on the show yesterday, here at the Daily Wire, we decided that we would celebrate the 1-year anniversary of our film, What is a Woman, and ring in Pride Month 2023 by releasing the film free for everybody on Twitter.
Okay.
And we presented this idea to Twitter several weeks ago. They were excited about it at first. They offered us the chance to buy a special event page for the film.
So we're just recapping stuff, okay?
And they told us that we could not have our event page. And not only that, but if we posted the film on our own page, they would tag it as hateful conduct and disable sharing on the film and make sure that nobody sees it in their feeds. They told us that our only way around this, the only way to post the film and not have its reach totally crushed, would be if we censored it ahead of time by removing certain scenes that Twitter found especially offensive. And we, of course, refused that offer and instead resolved to post the movie anyway and to have this fight with them in public. I mean, if that's what they wanted, that's what they would get, and they got it.
I don't think they ever. Okay.
That recaps everything we covered on the show yesterday. Things were left on a bit of a cliffhanger. It wasn't clear what would happen when we posted the movie, if Twitter would actually make good on its threats to tag it as hate speech and censor it. What, if anything, would Elon Musk do to step in and enforce his free speech promises? We didn't know any of the answers to those questions. We were headed for a standoff, and we weren't sure what the result would be. Well, shortly after 8 Eastern time last...
Keep in mind that on Twitter, he's been like schizo posting basically like every hour about how silenced he is, while simultaneously saying that his movie receives billions of views.
Last night, we found out. We published the film, as promised, in its entirety, uncensored, on the Daily Wire Twitter page. And for exactly 2 minutes, everything went well. In fact, there was so much interest around the film that in just 2 minutes, 3,500 people shared it in 2 minutes.
Well, oh, yeah, that's not really impressive. With the reach that you have, Matt Walsh, 3,500, is that what he said? In 2 minutes is like nothing. You have over 2 million followers.
But then the speech suppressors moved in, making good on their threat to suppress it. 2 minutes after it was posted, Twitter slapped the hateful conduct label on it, disabled retweets,
which they told you they would do, right?
Disabled comments, and removed and blocked it from everybody's feed. So if you tried to retweet it, you would get a message from Twitter saying that the content cannot be shared because it interferes with, quote, healthy conversations. And if that was not enough censorship, the phrase, "what is a woman," was blacklisted from the trending list and removed every time it appeared there.
Well, I think the two go in tandem together. If your shit is getting de-boosted or deprioritized in the algorithm, then it stands to reason it would not be on the trending list.
Twitter's actually been doing that for the past year, ever since the movie originally released. They've blacklisted the film from trending, and they kept up that policy yesterday. Now, at this point, Elon Musk started to speak publicly about the issue, though his initial statements were somewhat unclear, somewhat ambiguous. Earlier in the day, he had said that the decision to censor the movie was a mistake made by many people at Twitter, and that it actually doesn't violate any of their policies. Yet, in spite of those statements, it was restricted and censored anyway. In response to that, Elon said last night that the problem would be fixed, that the hateful conduct label would be removed, and that sharing would once again be enabled. But he also, in a series of responses, said that the movie would be advertiser restricted, and since it's sensitive content, quote unquote, it won't be, quote, pushed to people unless they ask for it. Now, it was unclear what exactly any of that means, and
Well, I don't know how this is confusing to you. Advertisers, as Elon Musk correctly pointed out, have a right to choose which content they have their ads displayed on, and that also applies to your movie. So why? What is? I don't understand. I really. Oh my god! I'm really trying so hard right now. How is this confusing? How is this confusing? I don't really know. I can't think of another way of explaining it other than the fact that, like, in the free marketplace, these companies, these advertisers, can choose which, what content specifically that their ads are, being showcased on. I can't understand how this is difficult.
At any rate, even as he said all this, the movie was at that moment being actively suppressed by Twitter. So what does advertiser restricted mean? Does it mean that advertisers control what content Twitter users can see?
What? Oh, guys, I'm trying so hard right now to be like patient. It's not easy though. Okay. Okay, so first off, no. And second off, again, advertisers choose what content their ads are displayed on, not what content the platform allows. Those are two different things.
And if that's the case, then how can Twitter be a free speech platform if advertisers
That's not the case, so this is a moot point.
control it? And what does it mean that what is a woman is sensitive content? How is it sensitive? Anybody?
Dude, oh, it's not sensitive. It is not sensitive to people such as you who share your ideology, who are incidentally as well transphobic. You don't see anything wrong with misgendering people, with propagating fear around trans people. So yeah, I mean, like, no shit. I mean, it's not sensitive to bigots, I guess, but to like the rest of the population, yeah, it's probably like hateful.
Anybody who uses Twitter knows that some of the most vile, obnoxious, grotesque, actually offensive content
Is he describing himself or not?
regularly makes it into your feed from accounts you don't even follow. I have on many occasions, as we all have if you use Twitter or really any social media site, I've seen videos of people dying.
So report it, bitch.
The videos that pop up in my feed automatically play. I don't want to see them. And I'm just scrolling along. Next thing you know, I'm watching somebody die.
Okay.
And that's apparently not considered sensitive by Twitter.
What? Wait, hold on. Has this content remained up? If you give me one example right now and I go to it, it's still going to be on the platform? Did you report it? Like,
And of course, I see all kinds of content from the other side of the trans debate, none of which is ever labeled sensitive or hateful.
well, what would be sensitive or hateful, though? I'm not going to deny that that's possible. That certainly is possible, but like, what specifically?
Why would our film, which simply asks questions to people,
That's not what... Oh my god. That's not what your film does. Oh my god. Your film's propaganda. It's obviously leading people in a certain direction with the way the questions are asked and the question itself.
people on both sides of the issue be singled out in this way? And why would this happen on a platform that has newly professed its commitment to free speech?
You're not being... Okay.
So these tweets from Elon were confusing, and the actions that Twitter was actively taking against our film were disturbing. But the picture was made more complicated by what we were hearing privately. The whole Daily Wire team was at the office late last night trying to coordinate our strategy, kind of a wargaming.
Dude, is this... Oh my god. Is this really worth it? Like, he's... This fucker over here bending over his, like, a board game of, like, Risk. Like Hitler going like, okay, what do we do here? Candace Owens, go. What do we do? It's like, let's move this shit to North America. Okay, cool, let's do it. Boom. Like, what are we talking about? This is not complicated, nor does it warrant such intense scrutiny.
Talking about how to fight back against this censorship. And we were all getting texts and calls from sources that we know who know what's happening behind the scenes at Twitter. And word was coming in from many different places that Elon was, according to a lot of these sources, Elon was furious at his content moderation team because of this censorship, that heads were rolling at Twitter headquarters over this.
I'm sorry, but I refuse to trust the reliability of these sources just because... I mean, I don't know who these sources are. They could be anybody. And given how radical the Daily Wire is, I'm inclined to believe they're not reliable.
It was perhaps not a coincidence that at this exact moment, a Twitter employee from the brand safety team publicly announced his resignation from the company. This employee, Mai Ayed is his name, has a history of posting tweets scolding and mocking white people, which is not exactly the sort of person who should be involved in ensuring brand safety, whatever exactly that means. But if these are the kinds of people who are leaving the company, it's probably a good sign. In the not too distant past, private citizens used to be largely that, private. What's changed? Well, the internet. Think about everything you've ever searched for, watched, or tweeted, and sharing and retweeting was enabled. We woke up this morning, /Matt Walsh Show. There was no clear resolution then on the issue last night. It was kind of still up in the air. We weren't sure what was going on. But we woke up this morning, things had changed. At some point overnight, the hateful conduct flag was removed from the film and sharing and retweeting was enabled. I started getting messages from people saying that not only could they share, but the movie was coming up in their feed. And a few hours later, as the ultimate capstone on all of this drama, Elon Musk himself shared the film from his account with a caption urging every parent to watch it.
Did he really? Wait, hold on.
So it was a...
Is that true? How did I miss that? Maybe he did. If he did, then that would be kind of wild. Oh, he even pinned it. Part of me wants to watch it, but at the same time, I don't. Because I already know it's transphobic, so what's one? Maybe I'll watch it on my own time.
Yeah, it was a wild ride for 24 hours. It began with Twitter censoring the film and labeling it hate speech, ended with the owner of the company tweeting his endorsement of the film and urging people to watch it. So how do we make sense of this? Well, when it comes to Twitter, I think the most reasonable interpretation is that Elon Musk is still fighting with the leftist radical elements in his own company.
Which are... Okay. By the way, he's basing this assumption off of the fact that that guy, like, resigned and that his shit was labeled hateful content in the first place. This means, therefore, that there are leftists infiltrating the upper echelons of Twitter.
You know, they are deeply embedded in the company, as they are in every big tech company. And
damn, dude, wow, really? In every tech company, there are leftists. There are post-capitalists in every single. Okay, damn, shit.
Given how everything worked out, it seems clear that Elon intended for the film to be distributed uncensored on the platform, but the woke elements inside the company stepped in to sabotage it. In fact,
again, this is based off nothing. He's basing... So it is true that the shit was obviously labeled hateful content, but he's attributing that to, like, the woke mob or leftists or whatever, when that's yet to be proven.
This morning, Elon confirmed that the resignations on Twitter's trust and safety team were, he said, directly related to all of this, the film, the controversy surrounding it. So, which means that on top of everything else What Is Woman has accomplished, it also appears to be helping to separate the wheat from the chaff over at Twitter headquarters, which is a major accomplishment in its own right. We can assume, you know, that there are likely more woke foxes in the henhouse, but the good news is that they're being rooted out, they're being exposed, which is all very encouraging. The other lesson that we learned is one that we've learned many times in the past already, which is that on this issue, and really any other issue, the left cannot win in a fair fight. They cannot meet us out on the field in a pitched battle and hope to prevail. They suppress and censor and deplatform because they know their position is insane. They know it can't be intellectually or morally defended. Mm-hmm. They know their arguments are laughable and flimsy. They know that their claims fall apart under the slightest scrutiny.
I wonder where he's deriving such conclusions. Like, has he actually argued with people who are, like, good debaters or whatever? Like, I don't understand. There's a lot of people out there who don't know how to sufficiently defend their positions. This is made even more so the case when we have to examine things more critically or examine subjects that are more esoteric. But I think that, like, he's drawing this conclusion based off of, like, the clips he has seen of Ben Shapiro in 2015 dunking on, like, college students, or from his own personal experience going to different colleges and randos coming up and yelling and shit, and he just attributes this to the broader left as a whole.
Here's the truth. If open discussion on this topic of gender ideology, if open discussion was allowed everywhere, okay, if everybody could just say...
Oh, here we go. Here it comes, baby. Ready? He's about to say, if we just had a platform and an even playing field and everybody had a voice, we would be the winners. We would expose the gender ideologists and their woke mob of elitists. Like, we're about to... Here we go. I will bet my life savings that he will say this.
What they think about it. Everywhere. On all the platforms, everywhere in life. You're not going to be censored. You're not going to be fired from your job.
Here we go.
You're not going to be arrested if you live in Canada.
Okay.
If open conversation was simply allowed,
Yeah.
their side would be crushed into oblivion in
Yep.
less than a day. Okay.
Well, it's interesting that this is brought up, given the fact that for many years now, corporations and the broader American public have come to the conclusion that trans people are actually good, and that trans people deserve equal rights and access to the appropriate medical care. A majority of Americans believe this.
It is as simple as that. Trans ideology would disappear overnight if the other side of the argument, the critical side, was allowed to speak openly.
Yeah, this is the whole victim complex bullshit. Like, we're the silent majority. We're getting censored by all the big tech companies run by the Jews. Yeah, I mean, it's just the same, like, conspiracy. Like, actually, we're the right ones and you're the crazy ones.
And actually be heard without suppression or reprisal.
Yep.
The entire ideology hides behind a fortress of censorship because it is easily destroyed out in the open. And it's
Dude, I've seen so many people, man. I've just seen so many liberals and leftists online who are willing to debate these issues. And like this bitch is like saying like, we hide behind censorship. It's like, not really.
Opponents know that. That's why it would appear leftists at Twitter were willing to sacrifice their jobs for the sake of shutting this film down.
Where is he coming up with that now? The fact that the guy resigned? That is a stretch.
They broke our agreement. They publicly defied their own boss. It's an act of self-immolation, professional self-immolation.
That is such an exaggeration, dude. Can these guys ever, like, accurately describe reality? It doesn't ever always have to be an exaggeration. Oh my god.
Putting their careers on the line, all in an effort to prevent people from seeing this film and hearing the other side. That's how terrified they are.
Again, I don't get how you can come to such conclusions based off flimsy assumptions. Like, he has to jump through so many hoops here to arrive at his own conclusion. It's crazy.
And in the end, it was all for nothing. We win. I will admit.
Wait, what?
And I wouldn't usually admit this.
What are the conditions?
I will admit that throughout all of this, I did feel a bit demoralized for a time because even though I'm used to it by now, I know how these people operate. It can still be, if you're a human being, it can still be deeply frustrating to meet these artificial roadblocks every step of the way. It's one thing to have the other side arguing against us. We embrace that. We want that. But they won't argue. That's the frustrating thing.
This is not true. Many people come up to you, Matt Walsh, on your podium and talk to you and argue with you. Many people, big content creators, are willing to have these debates and conversations with you. I don't think I've seen Matt Walsh actually do a professional debate against somebody recently. I can't think of one, unless I could be wrong about that. I could look it up, I guess, but there's certainly people who are willing to have the conversation.
They won't argue. All they ever do is try to shut you down, silence you. They refuse to play the game.
Yeah. You're a victim. You're a victim. You're a victim. We got it. Yep. Like, it's just whining and bitching. It's like half this video is whining and bitching.
Game on a level field. They just refuse. And after a while, the constant onslaught of censorship, suppression, demonetization, all the schemes, you're always running into something else. Every day it's another thing. And it gets exhausting. With this film especially, it's been relentless. The movie's been deplatformed, banned, censored, blacklisted.
Wait, it's so fun, man. Can you identify the duality that's taking place here? He's in one breath he's saying like we're being censored, suppressed, executed, and like all this shit, and then at the same time he's also saying like this is one of the most successful films in the past 100 years, and also we have over 80 million views, and also everybody's retweeting, and we're seeing so much success. Blah, blah. Like, how can you at one point be suppressed and so deeply censored, and also be one of the most successful revolutionary films of all time?
Like, you can't even organize a watch party for this movie on certain platforms, on Eventbrite.
They want to have it both ways.
The deplatforming has been, and it's been that way ever since its release. Mainstream film critics refuse to even review it.
How is that proof that you're being censored or suppressed? Does he not recognize how niche his audience actually is, or like rather, how niche the Daily Wire is in terms of the like broader like legacy media and like all that shit.
Yeah, you remember that from last year? We sent them screeners. They wouldn't even watch the screeners.
Well, they don't have to, right? They're critics. They're individual human beings.
And it has reached an enormous audience in spite of all that and had a massive impact. But in my more cynical moods, I sometimes think about how much more of an impact it might have had, how many more people it might have reached.
See? We're doing the duality shit. On one hand, it's the most suppressed movie of all time, and on the other hand, it's the most viewed and revolutionary film of all time.
If the powers that be weren't blocking and suppressing us at every turn.
If it weren't for the Jews, we'd be generations ahead socially.
Fortunately, though, as I was feeling slightly discouraged last night, I had my therapist, Jordan Peterson, on hand to offer some counsel, and he said something.
Wait, hold on. This guy's therapist is Jordan Peterson? Come on, dude. Come on. Get an actual therapist.
That put it in perspective. He said that when you speak the truth, whatever happens is the best possible thing that could have happened. And in other words, there's no use lamenting the consequences of speaking the truth, because if you do not speak it, if you remain silent, then the results will always be worse anyway, ultimately. And he's obviously right about that. In fact, proving his point, now that the censorship has been lifted and Elon has posted the film himself, it's fair to say that more people will see it and hear it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the views that are making rounds here is because of Elon Musk and the fact that he retweeted and also pinned it to his profile. So it has received the maximum amount of publicity it could possibly get on Twitter. I mean, that's isn't that part of the reason? I don't know.
About it than would have if the left had never attempted to shut us down in the first place. Probably millions more. So it all backfired. The truth wins out in the end. They won't play fair. They never do.
The truth wins out. Dude, the only thing that happened was that more people watched the movie. What are you talking about, the truth? That's a whole different thing.
But even in the rigged game, when it comes down to it, they still lose.
Nice. All right. Well, anyway, they're still pissing shit themselves, I guess. Like, even in spite of all this shit, he's still going, like, even after they get, like, millions of views and the former CEO of Twitter retweets and pins it to his profile. Even after this, it's still not enough to... They're still playing the victim. It's incredible. Like, nothing will ever be enough in terms of these guys. Oh, what is this? Shut up. Dude, this mother... Are you kidding me? Wait, what else were we supposed to talk about today? Oh yeah, the YouTube rabbit hole. I don't know if we're gonna get to that. Well, we could, I guess. All right, we're gonna. I'm feeling autistic today. I feel like going deep into. I feel like going deep into this shit. This is interesting. So, hold on, let me. Yeah. Oops. So Jimmy Dore, I haven't really talked about him in a while, thankfully. He's still doing anti-vax shit. I didn't think that was like, I didn't even think that was a thing at this point. Like, look at this. 0 healthy Israelis under 50 have died of COVID. Wait, hold on. 0 healthy Israelis under 50 have died of COVID. That seems like a good thing because nobody. Wait. Yeah, nobody's died. Sorry, I'm just like completely amazed by that title. Oh no, wait, is he about to defend? Is he about to defend what I think he's going to defend? I could be wrong. I hope I am.
There's a story from my hometown. Catholic Church.
Wait, okay, let's see what's going on. Catholic clergy sexually abuse Illinois kids far more often than church acknowledged. Do we have a link to the story in the... Do we have a link to the story in your description? No, we don't. Why is Matt Walsh here? That's weird. Okay, so he didn't link the story. That's fine, I can just look it up. Okay. I need to read the story before I dive into this. AP Catholic. Maybe I'll do the first time. Okay. This was not too long ago. Wait, this was, yeah. More than 450 Catholic clergy in Illinois sexually abused nearly 2,000 children since 1950, the state's attorney general found an investigation released Tuesday revealing that the problem is far worse than the church let on. Attorney General Raul said at a news conference that investigators found that 451 Catholic clergy abused 1,997 children in Illinois between 1950 and 2019. Though he acknowledged that the statute of limitations expired in many cases and that those abusers will never see justice in a legal sense. It is my hope that this report will shine light both on those who violate their positions of power and trust who abuse innocent children. And, yep. The review began in 2018 under Raul's predecessor, Lisa Madigan, who released a blistering report as she prepared to leave office. Raul continued the investigation. He said Tuesday that 25 staff members reviewed more than 100,000 pages of diocesan documents and engaged in more than 600 confidential interactions with contacts. Okay. So church leaders dragged their feet and did a poor job in reporting the shit that happened. The investigation prompted a years-long review of their policies. This guy said it was repugnant. Some of those have been infamous due to criminal proceedings or lawsuits. Yeah, he later pled guilty and was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Okay, and the title of this video, Jimmy Dore reveals stories of Chicago priests who abused children. So this is going to be interesting.
Clergy sexually abuse Illinois kids far more often than the church acknowledged.
How much more often?
Wait, this shit's not funny. This bitch is laughing over here over children being molested.
Is anyone shocked at any of this?
I mean,
well, it's not a matter of being shocked; it's a matter of seeking justice.
And they make Trump and MAGA out to be the worst thing in the world. Meanwhile, the
wait, hold on. Let's not deviate from what we're talking about here. We're talking about Catholic clergymen and parishioners sexually abusing children. Now you're trying to deviate to like MAGA shit. Like, both can be bad. Believe it or not, both can be bad.
Catholic Church is out raping boys and covering it up.
I can't believe you got to take him to a drag show just to keep him safe.
Just to keep him safe.
Wait, hold on. This is really interesting. So is the implication here that going to drag shows it is a common practice for the drag queens or whoever to sexually molest children who go there, because he said it's sad. Did he say it's sad that you have to go, that going there is safer, implying that that is also a dangerous environment for children?
More than 450 Catholic clergy in Illinois sexually abused more than 2,000 children since 1950. I guarantee you that number is that's off by about a factor of 1,000.
I think this is like when Google guesses your income.
Yeah, yes, this is like that.
It's about it.
So I would say, my guess, because I grew up Catholic in Chicago and went to Catholic school, I would guess it was probably 1,500 to 2,000 Catholic priests in Illinois sexually abused probably 10 to 20,000 children since 1950.
He's just pulling this shit out of his ass. There's no proof of this either way. He's just guessing. Now, it could be the case, definitely. There's probably the numbers obviously probably higher because of statute of limitations as the article outlined, but the number specifically he's pulling out is just
50. The state's attorney general found in an investigation released Tuesday revealing that the problem was far worse than the church had let on.
That's a conspiracy.
Yeah. Who knew they weren't being upfront about all the kids they were raping?
They're reporting it less.
Wait, does he not know that the reason for this is because of statute of limitations and that those investigations could not be carried out? So we're not going to actually know the exact number? Yeah, okay.
Then it happened, from what I understand.
That's what I understand.
Why does this guy keep making jokes about at the expense of children who have been molested by Catholic clergymen?
Attorney General Kwame Raoul said at a news conference that investigators found that 451 Catholic clergy abused 1,997 children in Illinois between 1950 and 2019, though he acknowledged that the statute of limitations has expired in many cases and that those abusers will never see justice in a legal sense.
We can't E. Jean Carroll a loophole for them kids?
Right?
I guess not.
Why can't
Just for 1 year?
Why can't we pass a law that suspends the statute of limitations for 1 year?
Just for 1 year for this one lady.
They did it for Trump. They did it for Trump.
So, wait. Okay, I think I see where this is going. So basically, he's going to make these... This is the second time he's done it so far. He's going to make the comparison that the mainstream media is being hypocritical with respect to what is and isn't immoral, and their coverage and the amount of coverage they provide to certain stories because they are political in nature and they serve the establishment. That is quite an incredible narrative to weave, and one that I really did not expect from a pretty open and shut case about sexual assault taking place against children from the Catholic Church. So he's trying to make this a whole thing about Trump and how unfairly Trump and conservatives are treated in the media, instead of focusing on the terribleness of the Catholic Church. Interesting. Okay.
It is my hope that this report will shine light both on those who violated their positions of power and trust to abuse innocent children and on the men in church leadership who covered up that abuse, Raoul said, crediting the accusers for making the review possible. These perpetrators may never be held accountable in a court of law, but by naming them here, the intention is to provide a public accountability and a measure of healing to survivors who have long suffered in silence. The review began in 2018 under Raoul's predecessor, Lisa Madigan, who released a blistering report as she prepared to leave office. Raoul continued the investigation, and he said Tuesday that 25 staff members reviewed more than 100,000 pages of diocesan documents and engaged in more than 600 confidential interactions with contacts. The lengthy report describes Illinois church leaders as woefully slow to acknowledge the extent of the abuse. It also accuses them of frequently dragging their feet to confront accused clergy and of failing to warn, because they're all molesters.
Okay, that's not true. Not every single... I hate to be pedantic, but people have got to stop being so hyperbolic. Not every clergyman and priest is a child molester. That's not true. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of them are, and that's fucked up. And I think that's and I think that might be because of their proximity physically and, emotionally to children. So because of that, they are able to exploit children a lot easier than somebody else, right? But to say they're all abusing children is just not true.
You're asking molesters to go reprimand other molesters. And do you understand why the molesters drag their feet?
Wait, hold on. Wait, do we have evidence that the people that he's saying drag their feet also molested the children?
in going over and disciplining the other molesters? Is that you starting to sink in now?
You're making a conclusion based off flimsy assumptions here, because we don't know if the people who were dragging their feet were also molesting children. Like, we don't know. That could be the case. That could be the case. But we don't know. We do know of the people that the investigation had looked into that they were molesting children. The parishioners? Yeah. Or the clergymen? Yeah, whatever. We know that they were molesting the children. We don't know if the people, the church leaders, were doing the same thing. We don't know that. That could be the case, but we don't know.
Sometimes even decades. And so it also accuses them of frequently dragging their feet to confront accused clergy and of failing to warn parishioners about possible abusers in their midst. Not possible, but of abusers in their midst. They didn't warn the families, the parishioners, and then those priests raped their kids.
This isn't like rumors. This is their internal documents
This is
that they themselves are like, yes, this happened here.
Yes.
That's why, by the way, Jehovah's Witnesses, somebody smuggled out a thumb drive. They had a thing just like this.
Really?
Everybody does the
All
same thing.
All churches have this.
They don't go to the cops. They go handle it in-house.
That's right.
So we don't look bad.
That's right.
They all do it.
In a joint, that's why I really don't like organized religion. In a joint statement issued Friday,
I'll agree with that for sure. But where does he? The thing I'm interested in is that he says that they abused children. To me, that seems like they didn't.
Ahead of Raul's announcement,
he seems to agree
the
with
state's Catholic diocese, how do you say that word? Diocese said the Attorney General's investigation prompted a years-long review of their policies and unspecified changes. Well, isn't that nice? Oh. Cardinal Blase Kupich, Archbishop.
I'm sorry, I don't care about this anymore. I don't even know if I can watch his anti-vax shit because I don't want to get banned. So, yeah. All right, cool. Oops. Oh, God, what's going on? Oh, guys. The discourse around pedophilia is, like, really fucked. There's this post here. A woman in a park. This was trans passing, the subreddit. A woman in a park today asked if I was the mother of one of the kids playing nearby. I couldn't believe it, but it was very affirming. No makeup as well. And this bitch-ass pussy was like, why are they at the park with kids playing nearby? What? Motherfucker, parks are public spaces. Anybody can walk through them. The implication, of course, is that they're stalking children, or a park lurker, which is not true. Odd. If I asked a person if they had a kid playing nearby, it would be because I thought they were acting like a creeper and was politely telling them they were being watched. What? Yeah, I don't know. How is this a... People are going shit crazy about it. Apparently, pedophilia is when you are in a park where children are playing. A lot of these bitches in this fucking thread are just making assumptions that like that they were like lurking and like trying to like kidnap a child. All that was said was like they're just existing in a park. They went to a park, a public place. Kids happen to be nearby. Adults and kids both sometimes like the outdoors. They're walking trails, fields to do stuff with friends, places that people sometimes hang out at and meet. If you go to one, even when there's not a reunion or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Really fucking stupid, man. There's also something else too. I don't even like. Hold on. Am I even gonna be able to find it honestly? Okay. We can do the YouTube rabbit hole now, I guess. Google.com. Okay. Uh, Alright, guys. We are about to go back to the past. If you don't know what this website's called, it's called webarchive.org. So I think it's publicly funded or funded through donations. And I have put into the thing youtube.com. We're gonna look at some old YouTube shit. See if like just like relive the past, I guess. I don't know. If there's some videos that are like still around, that'd be kind of interesting if we can find them. So let's go. Let's go pretty early. I know the first couple screenshots are like you can't like watch anything. Um so YouTube back in June or May 16th, 2005. Amazing. Let me turn. I think that was more. Okay, nothing really here. Screen name. That shit is old. Let's go to June 14th, 2005. My throat hurts a little bit. Hmm. Okay, so this is YouTube in June 14th, 2005. Hmm. So let's see. Is there any videos that we... Can I click on it? Would it actually, like, work? Oh, we go to November 13th, 2006, though. This is what the play... Yeah, so just to give you a little understanding here. The first time I watched YouTube, I was in, like, I started actively watching was 2007. And, 2006, I only occasionally went to the website, not too much though. It was more so my sisters who watched probably more actively than I did. Will this work though? Okay. Okay, just in case there's any copyright. Yeah, back in the day, YouTube copyright was basically non-existent. You can have a bunch of shit on there and it's fine. Okay, this is fascinating. Shit. Alright. Look at the... I remember when these videos were on the right like this. And obviously you would rate the video. Yep. The functionalities and how much YouTube has changed is amazing. Dude, wait. Did anyone remember Lonely Girl? Lonely Girl 15? Anybody remember that? This shit's still up. Damn. Wait, what is this?
For generations.
Okay. I do remember Lonely Girl 15. And I'm not real. I'm just like I watched a couple of her videos, and I do remember her being like the most subscribed on YouTube for a short period of time, but not too much. And oh man, I don't want to get whatever.
I really like.
Theories emerged that she was an alien, a media stunt for a television show or a
What?
YouTube plan. So, who was Lonely Girl 15? On June 16, 2006, a user by the name of Lonely Girl 15 uploaded a video called First Blog / Dorkiness Prevails. It featured a doe-eyed 16-year-old girl named Bree speaking into a webcam with a soft babyish voice. She was undeniably cute, like the human version of a kitten. Like, look at that, come on. She was an endearing and down-to-earth girl that was relatable, not a raging sex symbol that uses her body for views that's YouTube standard now. Sorry Lana Raodis, or should I say Amara Maple?
That's probably why I spend so much time on my computer.
She posted quirky things that would grab the audience's attention, like her purple pet monkey that would be featured in several videos. Bree was a geek's dream, constantly discussing physics and even reading books on screen. She also had a friend named Daniel.
Damn, Daniel.
He appeared to be an aloof, lanky teenager that was annoyed of Bree's antics but always seemed to stick around. Bree outright told viewers that Daniel edited all of her videos for her.
You have the cool editing tricks that you see. You can thank Daniel for that, not me.
Simp! Like all wholesome things on the internet.
Dude, what the when was this made, this video? 3 years ago? Okay, that makes sense.
They eventually turned weird. Lonely Girl 15 stirred up some drama by releasing a video stating that she couldn't go to Daniel's graduation party because of the beliefs of her parents.
I'm really upset right now. I wasn't allowed to go.
Okay, so I don't know if I want to spoil it, but whatever. This shit's been going out. This has been out for like over 15 years. I'm pretty sure that Lonely Girl 15, the account or like whatever, like the content that was produced was all like fake. It was all like a skit or whatever. And to my understanding, it was a big deal back in the day, like way back in the day, like 2008, 9, 7. Way back in the day, it was a big deal in terms of like whether or not your shit was legitimate, like if you were actually like being authentic in like the shit that you do. Because the fakeness kind of took away from the authenticity that YouTube was pioneered off of. Because the concept of YouTube, at least in the beginning, was more so for like anybody to upload shit for everybody to enjoy. And if you start doing shit that's fake under the guise that it's real, that started to like erode some of the confidence people had on the platform with respect to whether what they're watching or not is actually real. So I think I could be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure that was a big deal back in the day.
Go to his graduation party. Daniel got here at 7, and then my parents said that we couldn't go.
This was the first time in the series that Bree's strange religion was brought up. Astute viewers then analyzed her room and noticed that there was a strange painting with a triple candle in front of it. Viewers speculated that she was in a cult and that her parents were devil worshippers. But these concerns were ignored when Daniel was back in the very next video with no explanation. All was right in the world of Daniel and Bree, and people started to ship them as a couple. However, in the next video, things began to escalate again. Bree mentioned a strange conversation that Daniel had with her father. The conversation in particular wasn't mentioned on Bree's channel, but it was mentioned on Daniel's Daniel Beast. He mentioned that Bree's dad asked him to film something important for a summer camp and that he didn't want to do it.
In sports summer camps, you know, you learn about sports. This one, they learn about their religion. He invited me because he wants me to film this little play they do at the end of the year, which is not what I want to do. I didn't really want to. That's when her dad's all, well, maybe we can't have you coming over anymore. Giving him all the excuses possible that I can to get out of it, because it's lame. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to.
Oh shit, this is lovely.
You know, he kind of looks like Neville Longbottom. Maybe he can cast a Patronus to protect himself. Bree saw this video and responded stating that she felt very weird and hurt, and that she never even asked Daniel to change any of his beliefs.
I don't consider any of this a huge problem.
Well, I do.
Okay, that was just a response. It was just for other people. It's just irritating.
For other people, you couldn't even tell me. You couldn't call me and tell me. Look.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is obviously, like, in hindsight, it's like, obvious. Okay, this is, like, pretty fake, right? Because why would we be, like, recording this?
I wasn't trying to. I'll put the camera on. Go for it. Talk. Why all of a sudden do you not want to talk?
Because.
A second ago, 2 seconds ago, you wanted me to talk to you.
It's something that I believe in, and why is this such a big deal to you?
Whatever.
This is my religion.
Okay.
It's my belief. There's a million fucking different religions in the world.
Some were completely entangled in the drama that was going on, while others were extremely suspicious. I mean, how could a fight be conveniently recorded on camera? Maybe Lonely Girl 15 got the video camera ready to record a conversation that they were about to have, and they unexpectedly got into a fight. There are tons of videos of fights that aren't staged all over YouTube. The cameras don't have to be rolling 100% of the time to catch some steamy trauma. Still, some were not convinced, so a group of people searched for everything in Bree's room online and found out all of the items came from Target. Good old Target. They even matched up the SKUs to the product. This created a really superficial feel for Lonely Girl 15's channel and put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. But so what? Bree was homeschooled with odd parents, and it made sense that they didn't exactly shop at IKEA. At this point in the story, there was no solid evidence that something was off here. But more odd things began to pile up. Viewers noticed a weird slip-up in one of her videos. Watch this and see if you can catch it.
This last cookie is called the Super Spicy Peanut Butter Surprise. The secret ingredient is cayenne pepper.
Did you spot it? If not, that's okay. Most people that watched it didn't. People thought it was weird that the puppet rated the last cookie a 0.6 instead of just a regular 6. Why would Bree go through the trouble of adding an extra 0 unnecessarily? 0.6 looks like it was written for a film by a director. It was too formal and out of place for a girl's bedroom. It was like a scene from Inglourious Basterds where their cover was blown because they showed—
Oh, dude, that's a reach. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm pretty sure that this was all faked. Like, but that is quite the reach, man. Jeez.
You're wrong 3.
How do you do that?
We ordered 3 glasses. We ordered 3 glasses. That's the German 3. The other looks on.
But John Green, one of the vlogbrothers, still didn't believe that Bree was a hoax. He told others, "You're all crazy. This is a giant conspiracy theory. She's a real girl." Lonely Girl 15 released a video stating that she had to take part in a ceremony as part of her religion.
I've been chosen to participate in a ceremony. The ceremony is a really big deal in my religion. They only have them once in a really long while. And
wait, am I like misremembering this? I'm pretty sure Lonely Girl 15, what, like all the shit was like faked, or like it was like a skit. Like, pretty sure that's true. Now I'm doubting myself. I don't know. It's been so long, so I could be wrong.
it's very, very difficult to attend. My parents wouldn't even be allowed to come.
That's unusual for a 16-year-old girl. Yeah, let me just get a driver's permit, attend prom, and attend a satanic ritual. This was just too weird to believe, so a group of 3 people got together to prove that Bree was a liar. They were composed of Shaina Wedemick, a college student, Chris Patterson, a software engineer, and a 23-year-old law student in Pennsylvania who didn't want to be named. They were probably just a bunch of 4chaners. Just kidding, please don't dox me. On August 29th, they sent an email to Lonely Girl 15 from a fake profile they created named Seth. In Seth's MySpace page, however, they included a code that tracked the IP address of every single visitor. The message said, "You seem really cool. I added you and I hope you will add me back. We have the same interests. Your videos are cool. Where do you host them? MySpace?" Lonely Girl 15 replied, "Hi Seth." Hi Seth? I think I added you. The videos are on YouTube. What sort of stuff are you into? Using the tracking software, the team was able to see that a few seconds before Lonely Girl 15 replied to Seth's email that a single user had visited Seth's fake MySpace page. This visit was the only visit that the profile received, ever. Just like—
What, dude? This is wild. I didn't know any of this shit. What? This is fucking wild, man. They're setting up backdoor fucking hacks to like see the IP address and what website she's visiting to assess the legitimacy. Oh, jeez.
Like mine. Whoever was at the control of Lonely Girl 15's email account was also likely the same user that visited Seth's MySpace page, and that IP address was registered to CAA, our creative ad agency based in Los Angeles. Lonely Girl 15 was a hoax, and when people found out this information, they flocked to the internet to look for more proof. That's when someone who claimed to know Bree posted a link to her cached MySpace profile that was previously deleted in the comment section of TMZ.com. Someone looked at it and found old photos of a 19-year-old girl named Jessica Rose. And I think that's a Playboy bunny piercing there, but that's none of my business. The response was instant. The video started to get dislikes in the tens of thousands because the audience was upset that they were tricked. Remember, it was a different time back then, and people weren't used to this being the internet norm. At least the people that didn't—
Yeah, so like that's why I believe, and it seems like everything I've said prior was correct here, that like back in the day, like being tricked in this fashion, or because again, like YouTube was pioneered off of the idea that anybody could post to the platform, and that these were all like legit, authentic people. But then when it comes to light that like your shit that you've been doing under the guise that it's real, it's fake. it's like pulling the rug out of everybody, and people are like pissed off. I mean, rightfully so. And I think that still will remain the case even today, but especially back in the day of like early YouTube.
Didn't go on 4chan. But who was behind Lonely Girl 15 and why did they do it? The creators were revealed to be two men, one named Miles Beckett who was a doctor, and another named Mesh Flinders who was a screenwriter. Miles was inspired by how the video Lazy Sunday by Lonely Island blew up on YouTube. He also realized that anyone could upload a video to YouTube from anywhere without revealing their identity. In fact, YouTube...
Whoa. Fuck BK. Just out of nowhere surprised me with that song.
was so new that it wasn't even owned by Google back then. He fortuitously met his co-creator Mesh Flinders at a party where the two instantly hit it off. Usually straight guys don't hit it off with other straight guys at a party, but this was an exception that would change the internet. Mesh had grown up in a rural area and had always fantasized about creating a female character that was mysterious. I didn't see the outside world till I was 14/15, he says. So I knew what a girl who had been homeschooled her whole life would look like, because that's what I was like.
Sorry, I thought I heard something. That was weird. I thought it was...
The duo teamed up and put out an ad on Craigslist for a movie called The Children of Anchor Cove. They were specifically looking for unrecognizable actors and stated no nudity. This project will span approximately 6 months. It will require an initial commitment of 3 to 4 days.
Dude, okay, so it's like literally just... It's literally like made up. Got it. That's crazy. Like, I didn't know anything with this.
And then a weekly commitment of about 1 day a week. We can work around schedules. That being said, we want people that are dedicated to the concept and willing to go with it. The film is cast contingent.
Wait, what's it? The project was saying about this...
We will start shooting when we find the right cast. All submissions must be at least legally 18 years old, but look 14/15. No.
Oh shit. You gotta be of age, but you gotta look younger, buddy.
Nudity. This film is partially scripted and partially improvised, so you must have strong improv skills. We prefer unrecognizable actors. Jessica Rose was an actress that grew up in New Zealand and had just arrived in LA, and she was perfect for that role. She wasn't a face that many people had seen before, and the duo thought she was perfect because of her cute personality. However, Jessica was extremely skeptical at first, to the point where Miles actually had to call her after her audition to say, "This isn't porn, I promise." And Daniel? Well, his real name was Yusuf Abu Taleb, and well, that name's a far stretch from Daniel. In an effort to make everything look real, they made Yusuf and Jessica delete any trace of them on social media. They had to be quiet, and the kicker? They weren't even gonna get paid. For the set, the team used an extra room in Mesh's house and purchased everything from Target. We went to Target and we bought about $200 worth of girly things that we thought a teenager would have in their room. That included like a bedspread, a couple posters, and some stuffed animals. So whoever suspected that the items came from Target all along was right. Kudos. During the project, Mesh and Miles actually pioneered clickbaiting on YouTube. Back then, YouTube would automatically assign a thumbnail from the middle of the video. But Miles thought he could get more views with attractive thumbnails showing Jessica's big eyes and some action in the background. So he uploaded test clips multiple times until YouTube selected a thumbnail that he actually liked. And it worked. He noticed significantly more views with better thumbnails. I would obsessively edit the videos and then test upload them to get the perfect freeze frame, because you couldn't control that in any other way. It was like clickbait before there was clickbait. Things got interesting when the videos were getting popular. Jess was having to wear a hat and sunglasses. She couldn't go out of her apartment. It was getting to a point where people were writing directly to us because we maintained the account for Lonely Girl and saying, "I know you're a fraud and I'm going to expose you." People hacked us and that just freaked us out. Bree was even invited on the Tyra Banks show, but Jessica couldn't go because she was playing a character. But everything changed after they were finally exposed. And not in a bad way.
Did you see people checking out en masse once they knew?
Not at all. No. In fact, our viewership tripled.
Even after finding out, some viewers still stuck around. As one viewer put it, still a better love story than Twilight. This experiment proved several interesting things. For one, the team didn't anticipate the love story between Bree and Daniel, but when they were shipped in the comments, the creators changed the storyline in order to appease the audience. This quick ability to change the script was something that could only be done on YouTube and not television. It also proved that literally anyone can upload a video and conceal their identity. There are many YouTubers to this day who still keep their identities a secret from the public. For example, Memulous, the eye reveal was so sexy though, Primink, and How to Basic. I still think Vsauce is How to Basic, by the way.
On December 8th, 2011, I created the How to Basic YouTube channel.
Also, unlike regular television, YouTube videos could be rewatched over and over again, increasing the views. That's when the creators of Lonely Girl 15 realized that YouTube was a new media unlike anything else out there. After the exposure, the creators turned the series into science fiction with a focus on Jessica running away from her cult. Eventually, she was killed off, however, while Yusuf stayed on for every single episode. But don't worry, Jessica did get a role in the TV series Grief. The show also became the first ever sponsored YouTube channel, receiving $100,000 from Neutrogena. Neutrogena, get rid of your oily skin, blackheads, and that deadly cult with our devil-free holy water acne wash. Ultimately, the show ended in 2008
Amazing.
after a very successful run. Unfortunately, despite fan speculation, it never materialized into a movie or TV series as the creators had hoped. 8 years after the series ended, Lonely Girl 15 uploaded a video to the original channel in 2016. Stefan commented, "Gotta love these daily uploads."
Nothing happened to me. Everything was fine. I went through with the ceremony and it was an honor and a privilege. I'm living proof of that. And now that you've reached your 15th birthday, you too will undergo selection.
Well, that was creepy. What's super cool is that all of the Lonely Girl 15 videos are still on YouTube to this very day, so go check them out if you want. As of the making of this video, that was the last upload on Lonely Girl 15's channel. After that final video of Bree was released, Mesh had this to say: "No one will ever trust anyone on YouTube again at face value." That's for damn sure. Lonely Girl 15 is why I have major trust issues to this day. And that's the story of Lonely Girl 15. If you
Cool. All right. How did we get to how did we... Oh, because of this. All right. Yeah, I wasn't even meaning to do that, but whatever. Okay. Nice little piece of history. Wow, a lot of screenshots here. All right, let's do it. Wow, look at this shit. Waiting till 9 a.m. for Xbox 360. Woohoo, baby. 2005. When did the Xbox 360 release? Had to be 2005, I guess. When did Xbox 360? 2005. There you go. November 22nd. Wow, this was only a couple days after that. 2 days after that. Shit. Do you think that this is still on YouTube, probably? Maybe. Oh. Wait, does the video play? This is December 15th.
CompUSA.
I still can't get over the aspect ratio from back then. Like, I'm just so not used to it at this point.
Kids are waiting for the Xbox 360. Nice long line. We only have like 20 or so. There's Mario. Third in line with John.
Mami, olvídalo, no quiero las sillas ya.
He's got full internet on his laptop.
Last face.
Nice.
Yeah, let's slide that just like a little bit so like nobody gets.
Yep. To the top one.
Yeah, the video player is just so weird to me. I vaguely remember it. It's just like, wild. I definitely remember this.
Hey, what's up? We're gonna post this up on YouTube soon.
YouTism.
And we're gonna be famous for sitting out here on the tent.
Yeah,
waiting
I know,
for the
waiting for a
Xbox.
fucking Xbox because we're geeks. I'm sure there's a lot of people sitting out there with video cameras just videotaping people for no reason.
True. Wow, look at these comments. Halo 3 equals nothing. Wait, Halo 3 wasn't even out yet. PS3, fucking hell yeah, I'm waiting for that. Who waits at Comp USA for an Xbox 360? You are clearly victims of media. Please don't breed. Dude. It's like fucking 4chan. It literally... Wait, hold on. The comment section for YouTube back in the day was literally 4chan. Jeez. Oh. What the fuck, dude? I'm not kidding. It's like actually 4chan back then. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of remember that shit too. It's just something. I don't know. Okay, I gotta stop. All right, what else do we got going? Oh man, any scary videos maybe we can stumble upon? This sounds enticing. August 1st, 2011. We're about to fast forward a lot. Maybe not. The Walk. I don't think I'll be able to find it on actual YouTube. That's fine though. What if we went to channels? Maybe we can find... Oh shit. We got some 9/11 shit going on here. News and Pol... Why is that up here in 2005? That's actually a little weird. Breaking news, weather, speeches. Is this like a still of 9/11? Okay. Wait, what game is that? Okay, probably won't be able to find it. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go 2006, I guess. I'm gonna have to do this a little faster. I'm going a little slow. All right. Let's go to July. UFOs over New York City. Do you think I'll be able to find it? Wait, hold on. UFO over New York City. I really doubt it, actually. Hold on one sec. Oh, hello. Sorry, I didn't notice you were there. I'm doing fine if you're still there. Sorry. Baby boy. Are you missing everybody? Alright. What was I doing? Shit. Alright. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to find that video. That's fine though. Johnny Saucer. Maybe I can find the, that seems like a unique name. Alright. Hold on. Channel. Nope. Wait. Johnny Saucer? That's not what I wanted. Probably won't be able to find it, honestly. Channel? Also, he could have changed his name, too, so that's kind of... Alright, whatever. Cool. YouTube looked interesting back then, I guess. What about in later that year? Sorry. Oh shit, it's taking a while, damn. Oh yeah, by the way, you may have not noticed, but in the upper left corner here, the thumbnail for YouTube will look different than where it is today. There's just a lot more random shit that was uploaded to YouTube, I think. Because, like, on your feed now, like, on the homepage, it's really just gonna be, like, just, like, stuff that you watch, you know? So it's gonna be a lot, you know, different. This recommended a lot of different things. This looks fucking frightening. What? US steak. That's a lot of views back then. 606,000? This was January 10th, 2007. This is what it looked like. Ooh, wow, we are upgrading here. A lot of re's to this. Oh yeah, back in the day, if you're like a fucking new gen, like someone born past 2010, YouTube. Oh god, my eye, jeez. Back then, like you could make response videos to people, and it would be like RE, and then like the original video title. So it looked a lot different. All right, cool. Let's go a little earlier in the year, I guess. All right, cool. Slow as usual. Base jumping. Base jumping once again. Will second to list. President Bush visits Stanford. Huh. So just like the formats are a lot different. Nice members. You know what? I do remember this. I don't know why. I definitely remember like this kind of format. And this shit, the tags. Oh, that's like reaching deep into my memory. Let's go 2007. Lots of screenshots in 2007. Wow. Okay, yeah, so see, this seems a lot more familiar to me. I remember the login being right there, yeah. And I do definitely remember this. Is Machinima still up? Machinima. I don't even know how to spell that right. Machinima, yeah. Machinima spawn. Oh shit. Okay. I think back in the day it was called Machinima Respawn, unless that's a totally different thing. It is a different thing. Huh. Whatever. What is this? Tales of Near Existence I'm Not. Let's see if we can find this video. This seems interesting. Unless we can play it through the old-fashioned whatever. Is this gonna play though? Oh, it will. So this way, hold up, just so we 2007, right? Yeah.
Not going to think about her. I'm not going to think about her. I'm not going to think about her anymore. I'm not going to think about the way she looked. I'm not going to think about the sound of her voice. I'm not going to think about the way her hair smelled. I'm not going to think about how she once had a dog
True.
named Romeo. I'm not going to think about how she never cleaned her car. I'm not going to think about how she was never able to hang on to both earrings from a pair for more than a week. I'm not going to think about how she always untucked all the sheets after I made the bed so they...
Is this still up, by the way? Yep, still up. Cool.
Wouldn't squash her feet. I'm not going to think about how she had these funny burn marks and all. I'm not going to think about how she was really pretty, about how she was...
Alright, this seems dumb. Alright. Yeah, so YouTube looked cool, I guess. Back now, here. Water can burn? Cool. Let's do, I guess, 2008. Why are some of these green? Alright, let's do it the middle of the year. Okay, okay. This is feeling even more familiar to me. This part definitely, for sure, does. Where they have, like, the What's New box. God, I kind of miss the old days, sometimes. December of 2008. Hey, Red and Link. Cool. Yeah, Heath Ledger passed away the same year earlier. He died at January 22nd, 2020, or 2008. I wonder if there's going to be a screenshot of, like, it being up or something. Let me just exit out of that. Yeah, a lot of weird, I don't know, you get, like, it's like a time machine. So this was YouTube a day after Heath Ledger passed away. Cool. 2009. I'll just do one screenshot per year at this point. I don't want to get bogged down. All right, 2009. Yep. Cool. Flow right up, baby. Howard Stern on David Letterman in 2009 part 1. Wait, what? Rush Limbaugh. Obama is destroying the economy. Wasn't he, like, just elected? Alrighty. 2010. Believe it or not, 2010 was a long time ago. Doesn't feel that long, but it is. The jump between 2010 and 2012 is like insane, I think. Shane, dude. It's also interesting because like over time there are trends and there are algorithmic changes made by YouTube that move content creators to do different things in terms of how they title their video as well as what thumbnails to put on it. Uh, 2011. See, like as more time gets, as closer as we get, you know, like closer to like 20 teens, the more screenshots are going to be available. Ray William Johnson, I totally forgot about that guy. Justin Bieber. This was YouTube in 2011. Cool. I need Adobe, apparently. All right, let's go 2012. Let's go September. I don't know. When did I join? I think I joined in September 12th. I don't remember. In 2012, I think. I remember this, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot that you can go through here if you want, I guess. YouTube React, shit. Brady quit. Yo. Yeah, I mean, we really are going back in time. I remember Gangnam Style. When did that actually come out, though? Oh, shit. July 15th, 2012. Wow, this has a lot of captures. I guess that makes sense. It's a very pop. Oh, wow. We can go on the exact date that Gangnam Style was released, maybe. Oh, cool. What's the earliest view count can we capture? 302? That is quite early. Shit. How many views does it have now? Gangnam, yeah. No! Yeah. Alright, how many views we got? 4.8 billion views. And we captured this shit when it was 302. Yeah, you know, I think, obviously they'll like to dislike. I think, like, this used to be the case. I don't think it's the case anymore. But, like, YouTube, if something would receive a lot of views very quickly, then, like, it would stop at 301. Or, I believe it was 301 or 302. And it would stay there for a little bit, and then... But now it's, I don't think that happens. Interesting. Alright, whatever. 2013. Wow. Yeah. Yep. Awesome. Okay. Well, there's. I don't know. I'm kind of getting bored of this. Yeah. Anyway. I think I'm about done for today. I'm going to go lay down or whatever. But hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day. And I shall see you later. All right. Maybe next week, next Thursday. All right. Take care.